people joined us for the training part of this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through the purpose of this. If you're new, is anybody that you bring on, whether you're new to the organization or you bring somebody in new last week, then we want to make sure that they come to this team training because they got in for a reason, right? They knew what they wanted to see the results, but then where do we go from here, right? So that's what we created this team training for. So you can have the right, you point it in the right direction. So that's what we're doing here. And so we're going to walk you through that, and we're going to do a little bit of recognition, talk about some incentive things that are coming up as well, and then we'll get out of your hair. So next slide here. So you should have received. You got the slides here, Greg? Okay. So when you first came into the organization, depending on when you came in, you should have received this email from whoever brought you in. If you did not, it's okay. But I'm going to cover this real quick. So here's what the thing says. It's a welcome to LifeWave. You can see that and highlighted in green to save this for future references. So when you receive that and when you send this out, we want to make sure everybody saves this. And then the couple things there. Number one is getting started right. So there's a 5-tab document here with a link that we're going to go through very, very high level. And that really takes you through every bit of the training that they need to understand where to go from there. So you don't need to hold their hand on some stuff. It's all there. Number two is their back office. So when we send this to somebody, it says X is right there, but you're going to send them their username and password. And then there's a link right there to get how to get to their back office. So it's pretty easy. But if you look below here where that red arrow is, there's a 20-minute video that we did about a month ago that really walks you through that entire document and how to use it, right? So we're not going to go through all that, but it's going to be pointed to it. So the next slide, if you've got your phone out, scan that QR code right there. If you did not receive that email from whoever brought you in and or you just came in a little bit later on, then scan that QR code because that's going to take you right to this document and then you're going to be good to go. So again, this is the first page of the document. That's what that looks like. And then if you go to the next page, this one kind of describes, again, it's the same picture of it, but you're going to see the tabs at the bottom. So we talked that there's 5 different tabs. So it's important that people don't just pull this up. I would even suggest when you're putting somebody in the business, bring it up. Say, hey, I'm going to email you this. Let me pull this up and show you what it looks like. It's very cool to do that too. Helps them out. But the video will show them. So look at the 5 tabs. The first one walks you through a little bit about the patch, the back office. You'll see that all those links on the right-hand side are literally everything that you're going to need. What from the YouTube channels, the This Is It info site, the This Is It team site. So you'll need about the technology, about the business, you name it. The next one here is the health tracker. And the reason that we want everybody to get involved and plug into this thing as quickly as possible, because we want them to go to the tab to print their health tracker before they start using the patches. Right. So if you're meeting up with them and you give them some sleeves, we want them to get that health tracker so they can write down on a scale of 1 to 10 what their situation are on all of these things and start tracking that. Because some people are one patch wonders, right? And they're starting to see differences in a day or 2 days or 5 days. So we want to make sure we get that in front of them. The next one, it talks about the Zoom schedule. Again, you'll see this on the training video. What we're doing today, you can see Sunday, 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock Central Time. That's what we're doing today. Monday, Greg and Mena do one at noon Central Time, 1 o'clock their time. Monday and Wednesday evenings, the This Is It team does Zooms. I would encourage you very much to do that. I'm going to bring up that a little bit later on. If you're in St. Louis, we do an in-person meeting every Thursday at 7 o'clock here. And then Saturday is a training. And the next one is the onboarding checklist. On that video, the video that you'll watch on the YouTube thing at the beginning, that's going to really walk you through this onboarding checklist. And you see that site you use, the thisisitteam.com. It's going to walk you through exactly what you need to get going on this. Realistically, we have tried to make this super, super simple for everybody to use and to make it duplicatable. So the only way that people would have a lot of questions still afterwards is if they didn't go through this. So I encourage everybody to go through it first and then kill us with questions. It's all good. All right. And then the last one here is launching your business. So you'll see 2 different icons up here. One is called launching your business. When you click onto that, it's going to give you about a 4 or 5 page document, really high level stuff, right? On what you want to do to launch your business, including making a list, different script ideas on what you can say to people when you first start talking to them. If people are asking, hey, I don't know if I should do silver, gold, or diamond, what do I do? That's in there, right? So a lot of great information. And then the last one there, the second one there is email to your brand new partners. So when you sign somebody up, go to that link right there. And I think that's on the next page here, Greg. Go to that one, and then that's going to open up this exact thing, right? So that's where we started. So all you have to do is copy that, highlight it, copy it, put that in an email, and then change their name from name to whatever their name is. And then under the back office, put their username and password, and we're literally right at the beginning. So now they have all the information they have to do, and they can go through the training, and that is extraordinarily duplicatable. So hopefully you guys have been able to utilize that, and it's working for you. If there's anything that you are looking at with your team, that you're like, hey, could we tweak this? Could we add this? We're here for you guys. This is for you guys. We understand just about everything there is to understand about this thing. We've read it all, we watched it all, we've done it all, but we wanted to put it out to make it easy. So if there's different things you guys need from us, please feel free. And please also know that we are not recreating the wheel. Everything points back to the This Is It team website. We're just trying to dumb it down a little bit for all of us and make it super simple and duplicatable. So I'm going to pass it back to Greg, and we're going to kind of talk a little bit about different positions and talk about some recognition today.
Yep. And then also thanks you, Josh, for doing that. And so the one thing I always tell people, it is a learn. You learn it, then you do it, and then you teach it. And so as you're going along, you can do those all very, very quickly together. But again, the video that we put together, Josh did the video explaining more about that, about the This Is It info site and This Is It team site. So definitely you're going to want to go to that. So again, the one thing we always want to do is go into recognition. A lot of times people don't quite understand the different levels. So we want to always go over that information again. And the very first thing we talk to you about is basically making managers. So again, you want to become a manager yourself and duplicate this over and over and over and over and over again. So again, by reiterating, by being a manager, you have to be at what's considered at the gold level and above. So basically, if you're silver, you can upgrade to gold, but you got to bring in at least 2 silvers on the right and 2 silvers on the left. Once you've done that and everybody's active, then basically you're known as a manager. So what we do very simply is just then duplicate this over and over. So in order to go to the next level, which is basically a director, what happens is you've done this. Now you just got to add one more person to the right, one more person left, and help one of these people, could be any of those, help them do the same thing you just did, which help them put 2 people on the right, put 2 people on the left, and help them do the exact same thing. So one thing you want to do is get manager done and then help other people. So help 2 people, one on your right leg and one on your left side, to basically one right team, one left team, to basically go manager. And by doing that, you become a director. So we love recognition. So the one thing we're doing is we're always recognizing new managers. So I'm going to have to do a lesser font. So we're going to have some people. So actually, Aaron has a few people that he's actually going to recognize tonight. So Aaron, if you want to come off mute and recognize actually 4 new managers this week on your team alone, which is pretty powerful. Aaron and Jessica, yes.
Thank you, Greg. I am just super excited. It's really powerful seeing all the people on my team grow. My favorite there is, third on the list, is my parents, Sue and Gary Veal. They shocked me, quite honestly. When they got results, they started talking to people. Super, super exciting. They were coachable. I asked them that early on. They came to a meeting and I said, you don't have to understand everything, just be coachable. Same with Janet, that my parents had enrolled. She's coachable. And her daughter Janine, they're coachable. And we got Desmond and Camila, who we met in Florida. They've been coachable. And Terry, she got enrolled by Janet, and it's hard to keep up with how many people she's been enrolling. But she just got started, and she ranked up to manager this past week. And so we've just got this awesome 4 people on our team that are just killing it. And it's just super exciting.
That is awesome. Congratulations. And so it's amazing when we have new managers. And so what we always want to do is make sure that you get recognized. And then once you become a director, then we can have you share a little bit. But also we got Chuck, who's actually then had some people that actually he had, and I believe I got the right names here. So I think, Chuck, if you want to come off real quick. So Chuck and Diane, you got, I think, 4 people also that, if I'm correct on this, that actually went manager this week as well.
Yeah, these are actually people on the team that went manager this week. John Kadori. For those of you that were at the big event in St. Louis, he was a photographer going around taking pictures. And it's kind of how Eddie got into the meeting was, hey, come take some pictures. And now he's tearing it up. Watch him, big things. He's also going to Orlando, believe. Jessica and Tim have been with us for a while now. They just went manager tonight. Again, super excited about them. They have a really, really super bright future. Chris Phillips went manager tonight. Chris has been a friend of mine for a long time. He just moved down to Naples, Florida, down your neck of the woods, Greg and Mena. So get to know him. He's going to be phenomenal. And then last but definitely not least is Vicki Nolan. She's going to be working closely with Dr. Dennis Rodden, and you're going to see great things from them. So all four of those went director this week. We're very proud of all of them. Congratulations, team.
That's awesome. Fantastic. Congratulations to everybody on the team who's doing that. And I think we got one more. Is that correct, Josh?
Yeah.
So one more. So if you want to introduce this amazing couple.
Yeah, so this is Chris and Dory Orff. I don't know if they're able to make it on here. We got a lot of people on here, but this is kind of a neat story. This is the first couple I put into the business before I decided to start. This was like July 1st last year, and so they got in Diamond right away. Didn't even know what Diamond was when they signed up for Diamond. So I'm like, is that good? I don't know. And so they put in one person on the right hand side and really just used the product. Too busy, had multiple businesses to do, so they didn't really have time to do that. Never got off auto ship, right? Just kept going. Had great stories for both of them. Started sharing a little bit here and there, but didn't do anything with the business. And then went to the This Is It convention. Not this is the one we had here in St. Louis, and they both said, we're in. And now they are sharing the snot out of this thing. And a couple people online here that are blowing this thing up already. So look out for what this whole team underneath them is going to do. Pretty exciting stuff.
Absolutely. So congratulations, Chris and Dory. I can't wait to have them just blow it up because they're big builders and they know how to build big teams, which was very, very exciting. So what happens when you break two managers? You become a new director. So Chuck, I'm going to hand it off to you because I think you have some people you want to recognize.
Yeah, it's been a miraculous week. I've got 3 new directors I will recognize. The first one, I love all these people, but this is my daughter and her husband, and so I am super excited about them. A while back, because a couple months in, we were starting to put some really awesome people in the business, and Aaron asked me, he goes, "Man, if you had to start with just one of these people, who would it be?" And I looked at him straight in the eye. I said, "It'd be you, sir." And he kind of was taken aback. I said, "No, seriously. You've got the makings of a superstar." My daughter, Jessica, is one who saw the vision first. Aaron wanted to quit, to be quite honest. And that's why you really want to have both couples involved when you're sharing this, because you never know which one's going to catch it first. Aaron later came on, and he's been amazing. So Aaron, we don't, you got to get to director before you get to talk about it. I'd love to hear what's working for you and just kind of share people. Your excitement is contagious. And then obviously, Jessica, if you want to share some, I'm super proud of my daughter and my son-in-law.
Thank you, Chuck. First off, I'll just say, I hit director and I was actually kind of taken aback. I felt like I don't know that I really did anything because this past several weeks is just kind of just our team has just been blowing up. But I took some time today to write down 4 points that I want all of you to really take down, especially you that are growing, even that are beyond director. So using your upline is so important. I was blessed when we went to Destin, Florida. On that trip, we got to meet with Ken and Diana Burke, and Ken had actually walked me through enrolling a gold. I was in the middle of a conversation, Jessica and I were, and he actually walked me through it. He made it really simple. And I also learned from him for praying for divine opportunities. In my phone, I have a ton of reminders that I set myself up for success. One of those every morning is I pray for divine opportunities. What is that? I pray that I can share Jesus with someone every single day. And I pray that God would allow me to be able to use this incredible patch and share it with at least one person every single day. And then you want to be able to call, like I said, use your upline. So call Greg, Mena, Josh, Chuck, and Diane. Those are my upline. Your upline may be a little bit different. And don't think that just because they're not your sponsor that they won't appreciate you using them. So reach out to them. They want to be used. Our team is just incredible for that across the board. My second point would be coachable. I tell my team, when you join this team and you're ready to run the business, just be coachable. I don't know everything, but what I have learned from my upline and just even my peers is I just have to be coachable. Even those that are just getting enrolled, I learned something from people. So just be coachable as you go about. My third point, be on every Zoom call that you can. Go to every in-person event that you can. It is uber important. Don't think that just being on the 7 p.m. call when you've heard this presentation from Josh or Greg or Chuck, whoever is telling it, that it is not important, because it is. You're going to hear that info over and over. There's going to be just little tidbits of information that you're going to learn. And the next thing you know, you're in conversations with people, and it isn't, oh, I gotta remember what I need to say. No, you're on these Zoom calls for a reason. It's a business, so treat it like a business. My fourth point, my last point, would be something I actually just learned here recently, is getting on the phone with people and not just doing calls. Do a voice recording, send that to people, text, email, whatever you need to do, but get on the phone with people and talk to them. Turn over the rocks. You want to look for those people that you may not think that they're interested, but trust me, they are. Statistics are saying that it takes now 15 touches on average for someone to get back with you on something like this and other things you're going to present to them. 15 touches, that's incredible. Something that inspired me recently was contacting my chicken list. I think it was Mena who said this the other day. I was driving, listening to the presentation, and I was like, there's that one person that I have just not wanted to contact. He really got on my nerves when I first started. And you know what I did that night? I formulated a message and I sent it to him. And guess what? He didn't enroll, but he did take the time to watch the videos that I sent. And he gave me a response, which it just fired me up. I'm like, finally, I got that guy off my list and I can move forward. It felt really, really good. So those are my 4 points. I hope you got something from them. I'm learning from everybody around me, and you should be too.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Awesome job, Aaron. Okay, we're both in the same house here, so I had to mute his phone. Thank you, Aaron. Super proud of him and my daughter, Jessica. The next couple I want to recognize, well, it's actually his wife is not that involved in business yet. Her name is Agnes, but this is Pete Hamby. Pete has been in several businesses with me before. He's always been my right-hand man. And before Aaron came along, he would have been the one I probably would have chosen to be the one guy. Pete has built teams of tens of thousands of people around the country. He's really just getting started with this opportunity. So, Pete, why don't you jump on? And one of my best friends in the world, obviously. Why don't you share with people what you're doing and what you're excited about here with LifeWave?
Well, outside of having really good results with the patch, that was exciting for me, life-changing. And, I'm excited about the future of the business. I'm excited about the compensation plan. I'm excited about new stuff that our CEO is going to develop for us to be able to get out there too. It's been exciting to be involved. I actually wasn't involved in anything for about 6 or 7 years, and Chuck I finally said yes, and I'm glad I did. I want to thank team members Jessica and Tim and Chris that became manager today, which made me director today. So I appreciate them and all their hard work. And I really appreciate Chuck and Diane's leadership. And you won't find anybody works any harder than Chuck and Diane. And thanks, Josh and Greg, for being there anytime I want to call or ask questions. And I'm looking forward to building this thing I need to retire here in the next year or two. So I'm all in.
Well, we're going to talk more about freedom in a little bit here. And I don't think Dr. Dennis Rodman was able to join us tonight. He literally just went director today. Caught him at dinner. Vicki Nolan went manager tonight. So that pushed him over to director. If you've heard my story, I started this business March 12th, and Josh came over to our home. We did a home meeting to get started. And I kind of want to go back to Aaron and Jessica for just a minute, because I think it was a week ago Saturday, so like 8 days ago, they were going down to visit Aaron's parents down in Arnold, Missouri, and they just kind of did a spontaneous home meeting. And at that home meeting, they just invited a few other people in the Arnold area, and some of those were like Terry and others, and they had a really good meeting. And so Wednesday, we went down there and did a meeting for Terry and the team down there in Arnold, because Terry was off to a good start. When you see somebody who's off to a good start, you want to pour some fuel on the fire. Well, we went down there and there were 9 guests Wednesday night at that meeting, and 8 of them joined that night. One of them carried a diamond and some different packages, but 8 out of 9 joined that night, and I believe the 9th one will join. She owns a company going through some stuff right now, but Terry, you can let me know. But I'm just telling you, these home meetings are really a way to launch your business in a very, very powerful way. And I know that's something Aaron has done, I've done, Terry's done. So if you want to really draw a line in the sand and launch your business, even if you've been in for a while, schedule with somebody upline that's having some success, a home meeting, an office meeting, and start your business. So Dr. Dennis Rodden, back to him. You're going to see great things from this man. He literally has an unbelievable network. He is a very, very successful doctor. He consults for doctors around the country. He literally has a database of like 15,000 other doctors that look up to him, respect him for his advice and his counseling. So now that he's really done his due diligence, he's got his feet wet, he's gonna do some great things. He's gonna help a lot of people. So I'm very, very excited to have all 3 of these new directors on the team. So back to you.
Awesome. Congratulations, everyone. That's amazing. So again, we've been praying for people. We see these things happening, and it's amazing. All the people that have basically been managers, a lot of them I don't know, but the directors, I knew the work they were doing, and I knew it was just a matter of time. So congratulations on that. So I want to head back to Josh because he had another thing he wanted to share. So please share that with what you just texted over to me. That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll do. And again, guys, for those of you just joining us, this isn't normal. 3 new directors in one day and a page that we could barely fit on there of all the managers. This is such an incredible team we're on, guys. It is awesome. So we're on such a great track. Anyway, I want to backpedal one time. So I want to give it to Sandra, whose last name is now Fernandez. That looks weird on the thing, but congratulations, newly married Sandra. And she's got an incredible story on somebody here that we can see on the screen. And I'll let you tell us. I'll let you tell the story.
Okay, thank you, Josh. I want to recognize Robin Foss, who just joined about a month ago. We had a wonderful event last weekend, and she wasn't able to be on the call, but I appreciate you giving me a chance to give her a shout out because what she did was phenomenal. Robin has another business, and I was at her event last weekend, and we were talking about the patch, and she mentioned it to somebody else. Well, some other ladies were there, heard us talking about it. So Robin put together an impromptu lunch presentation. We went out in the hotel lobby where her event was, and we did a presentation, and she signed up 6 people in 24 hours and became like an instant manager. So I'd never seen anything like it. I'm so proud of her. Welcome, Robin. Glad you're here. And she had said to me, I don't really want to do the business. And that's how it happens for all of us. I didn't want to do the business either. And we just share it with people and they want in. So that's what's great about these calls. And this team is so supportive. You don't have to do everything. The team is doing it for us. So thank you for your leadership. Congratulations, Robin. Glad you're here.
Yes, we recognized her last week. Is that correct? Because we recognized her.
We
last
did,
week.
we did,
That's
but
what-
she
yeah,
couldn't
so we're gonna-
join because she was finishing her other event
Yes.
and probably still signing people up.
Congratulations. That's
Congrats, Robin.
Fantastic. That's awesome. So again, congratulations to all the winners. Again, we always want to highlight this. We highlighted this during winners. I would say we're all winning, right? No, but all the people that have achieved, we love recognizing achievement. But the one thing I shared again from the previous meeting, and we want to make sure because some people weren't maybe part of the previous meeting, that we have a couple of meetings coming up, and I didn't redo the slide, but they're coming to St. Augustine on. We already did this, the ones there. So St. Augustine is actually on Tuesday. And then actually it's going to be in Orlando on Wednesday. And Men and I are going to be in Orlando with a bunch of other people. So we're going to recommend getting people there. If you know anybody in Florida, anywhere, pretty much anybody, we got people coming in from all over the place, coming to Orlando because it's usually just a few hour drive, to get there. So that's what you want to do is in Orlando. And you can go to thisisitteam.com/events, or just go to thisisitteam.com and do a drop down and actually go to events. Actually pull up the information from where the locations are exactly. But let us know who's going to be there, for that meeting so that we can introduce them to Steve and Gina. The other part here, I'd like to have maybe Chuck talk a little bit about the Believe Convention. We would love for you to share a little bit more about that because to me, this is less than 2 weeks away, guys. And if you don't have your tickets, you need to get them. So Chuck, if you want to share for a minute, that'd be awesome.
Be happy to. Did I recognize John Cadoria? Yeah, I did, the photographer. Okay, good. I just, so many tonight, I thought I forgot him. And I don't want to forget John. He's doing a great job. All right, on the Believe Conference. We don't have a lot of time for this. We've got about 2 weeks, but I am calling all of the leaders on my team and imploring them to get to the Believe Conference, whatever it takes. One of our leaders on our team, one of our directors on our team, in fact, I'll just mention his name, Joe Finn, was not planning on going until today. I really encouraged him to go, and he just made a way to go. So I just encourage you. I know it sounds like it's 2 weeks away. I've waited too long to make a decision. I promise you, you will not regret going. This event will catapult your business. I don't want to exaggerate. At least 10x. At least 10x. I think more, but at least 10x. What I mean by that is when you're talking, so it's like Aaron said, the key is to talk to people, not just text, not just message, but talk to people. And I've been guilty of that. I've been doing way too much texting, not enough talking. So I need to talk less to more people, but I need to talk, not just text. But when you go to this Believe event, when you're talking to people, they will sense the belief that you have. And it's kind of a play on words. That's what this whole convention conference is about, is to help you walk out of there knowing, not just thinking you might be successful, hoping you're successful, but knowing, believing that you will be successful. All you have to do is the right activities. And we'll talk about those activities a little later in the training. But I just want to encourage you. If you're on the fence, if you've been thinking about it, but you're like, oh, it's too late. I can't afford it. I can't get off work. I can't do this. Stop thinking it can'ts. Make the decision to do it. And then again, give somebody up a line and just say, all right, I've made the decision to do it, but I have no idea. How do I get there? How do I get a ride from the airport to the hotel? Help me. And we have people that will help you figure it out. The main thing is you have to have the desire to go. And then, like the people that are having success in the business, as you start to build this business, you'll make the money to pay for the product, the ticket, whatever you need. So I just encourage you, with my 30 years experience in this industry, events are what make the difference in the successful people versus the people that fade away. And I don't want you to fade away. I want every single person on this call, watching the recording, to succeed. So I'm imploring you, with everything I've got, make a commitment, not a wish, not a I hope I will, I'll think about it. Just make the commitment. Tell Josh, tell Greg, tell me if you're on my team, hey, I'm going. How do I do it? And we'll help you figure it out. So Greg and Josh, anything you want to add? But I'm just telling you, this is the most important thing. And Josh, I want to thank you again for strong arming me a little bit to help me decide to go when I was thinking about just watching online too. So thank you, Josh.
Absolutely. No, I think well said. I mean, we have one more time. We're going to be talking about the Believe conference. That's next week, right? That's it. And then this happens again the following year. So we have one shot. In fact, a quick funny story. One of the guys that's going there with it, a lot of you guys know him, Brenton Deering. So he and I are flying down early around 7:45 on that Friday. And he called me the other day. He goes, hey, I got the rental car covered, so I'll cover that. I said, cancel that. He goes, what do you mean cancel it? He goes, it's a little bit further away from the hotel. I'm like, no, we're going to sign up the Uber driver. So I'll do an Uber, and we're signing him up and the guy on the way back. So we're signing him up. It's a done deal. So that's paying for the conference itself, is our 2 Uber guys. Got to have confidence in this thing. So, all right. So the next couple slides here, we're going to talk about our, you got the search. All right, so the next one here is Punta Cana. So a lot of you guys know about this. Chuck is going to talk about the Gold Rush contest that we've got going on for one more week. A lot of big leaders on this. I can't wait to show you guys this one. But Punta Cana, we are following the program that Punta Cana Tracker is doing for the most part. So if you guys are rolling on that, you're rolling on Punta Cana. But if we can go to the next slide here, there are some. So the dates for Punta Cana is November 6th through the 10th, week 1. And the funny thing is, we fly out the day after the election. So now you can tell everybody, hey, the election happened. I left the country. Regardless of what happens, you can tell everybody. That's kind of funny. But qualification period is April 29th to September 1st. It's a big window. Right, it's a very big window. I can tell you, based on how this tracking things, won't get into all the details, but you earn points for achieving a certain level every week as well. My wife and I have already qualified for Punta Cana about a month and a half into this thing. So we are done. A lot of us are already kind of going there. I know Chuck and Amy Wicks are fighting over who's going to get the first seat there. So that's pretty close. Greg and Matt, I know, are almost there. No, you guys are there as well. So guys, take it from us that they announced to us beginning of last year, that there's a trip to Cancun that you can earn. And so I truly looked at that thing. I'm honest as can be. I'm like, that's impossible. There's going to be a few people that make that thing. We won that trip to Cancun last year, and it was so freaking awesome to step your foot in the ocean, and it didn't cost you anything at all. The flights they were involved. Everything was involved. And to go hang out with some of these people, it's where I met Greg and met him for the first time, literally on the beach. So this and I can't explain this enough. The Punta Cana trip is so much easier to win than the Cancun trip. Take it from somebody who won that trip. And when they showed this to us, and we were introduced to this in Cancun, everybody in the group obviously won the Cancun trip. We've seen the way to win this, and we're like, seriously? Are we taking over the whole island? So yeah, there's going to be a ton of people. So please don't think that, hey, I just joined a week ago, a month ago, I can't get in. I can't. You can absolutely win this. You still have 2 months to do this. So if you haven't seen it, scan that QR code, download the form here, and then get your butt to Punta Cana. It is easy to do, but you will not regret it. It is so much freaking fun. All right, so we're going to give it back to Greg. We're going to talk about a little bit about the 10-step system for training, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Yeah. So thank you, Josh. That's awesome. Because like I said, going to Cancun was amazing. Again, Punta Cana is going to be amazing because again, it really is simple. You know, I had to print off a second sheet because we filled up our first sheet. So I had to print off a second sheet because of the way we go is earn points. So get together the person and they'll share with you exactly how to do that. So within the system they have, or what This Is It team, they have a 10-step system that we've been going over this for the past few weeks. So we talked about, once again, last week, determining your why. What is your why? And I want to talk to you about a little bit about me personally. Again, everybody's got their own story, but you've got to have a determination that you say, you know what, your why's got to be big enough. So the one of the guys who's actually become a billionaire, basically, he said, your drive is derived by your dream and your belief that you can have that dream. So your belief that you can have it drives what you do. And so it's amazing that what happens when you talk about determining your why, it's amazing. We see this screen all the time. For me, the number one thing was freedom. That was me. Everybody's different. So you might say, well, I want to have just some security. I want some less debt. I want to pay off my debt. I want better health, whatever it is, whatever the things that you're talking about. For me, it was freedom. So when I talked about the idea of that, my basic thing was financial freedom. I said, I wanted no job. No job. I wanted to be debt-free, stress-free, job-free. Anything was basically, we talked about simplifying your life and basically increasing cash flow through an opportunity that could change your life. So whatever's interesting to you, you're going to want to make that a priority. I've got pictures on my phone. I got pictures on my computer. I got pictures that basically represent what that word means to me. And so for a lot of people, we just celebrated July 4th. So to me, that was a big Independence Day. But I want to tell you a backstory because Lily, when we started running with this business, and really for the first few months, we were stumbling. We didn't know what to do, how to do it. We're just sharing this with people. Lily, we didn't know how to build teams. We're just sharing with people and getting people started. We're doing all kinds of wrong things. And we kind of figured out with Steve and Gina and all the other people kind of what to do. But what happened for me basically is I started looking at, I set a goal. I said, okay, I want to be independent. I want to quit my job by July 4th, 2023. So I said, that was my thing, is I wanted freedom. Guess what happened? I wasn't there at that point, meaning that we didn't have enough income from the business to be free July 4th, basically 2023. I was actually discouraged and I was mad because I'm like, you know what? We know that this is something that's changing people's lives. We got to figure this out. And we got God involved in a big way. And I asked my wife, will you help me to get free? And Lily, I said, I would reset the goal by the end of the year. And I remember praying. I said, Lord, what's the date that I could have freedom? And he gave me the date, December 11th. And it was actually my daughter's birthday. I'm like, that was weird. And I just wrote it down, didn't think about more of what it was. But what happened is that literally when I looked at the Independence Day 2023, I said, okay, I'm resetting the goal, and basically said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make some commitments. I'm going to go out there and I'm not going to quit. I'm basically going to say, you know what? I'm just going to go do it. And that's what I recommend everybody say. So no matter where you're at, if you make the determination saying, you know what? I want freedom. I want to be debt free. I want to have more time. I want whatever you guys have been talking about. I want that. Then I want you to basically say, you know what, just do it. And so what I want to do, I don't know how many of you want to fire your boss. That was me. So literally what happened was that I had vacation time that came up at the end of the year. And literally my last day of actual work was December 11th. December 12th was actually, we headed to South Africa. Lily went to South Africa during that time. I actually got a chance to go spend time with my daughter down in Miami, flew out of Miami to basically spend a day in Paris and flew to South Africa. So I was on vacation time and I got the first week of January off. But January 8th, I actually got a chance to basically contact my boss and said, I'm sorry, I'm making more money part-time than you can pay me full-time. He said, are you coming back to America? Because he knew I was still in South Africa. And I said, actually, I'm coming back, but I'm not coming back to this job. Now, I don't know if you like that idea. My wife looked at me. She said to me afterwards, she goes, you don't seem like you're excited. I said, it's just all settling in. I'm free, financially free. And I want to thank my wife because she helped me and we're working every day helping other people. If you like that idea, I challenge you to think about it daily. Whatever it is that you want to do, think about the idea of basically what your freedom is going to look like. For me, we actually had it at our BNI. We had a gal who was doing, she does all these costumes and stuff like that. And this happened just before I fired my job. I wore this costume and I literally said, you know what? I'm going to help other people get free. I'm probably going to buy that outfit and we're going to go to people's jobs on the last day of work and we're going to create an Independence Day for you if that's what you want to do. Now, what I want you to think about is we got leaders on this team that are kicking butt. They're doing phenomenal. So I want to hear from them too, because again, this was put out by our pastor at the end of last year, beginning of this year. He said 2024 year, it's a year of fulfillment of the promises of God for you personally. This year has been that. We've had so many things that have happened this year, and we're only halfway through the year. Incentive trips and all these different things, popping different things, paying things off, all kinds of things have happened. And again, you got to understand that God's favor is upon this business and it's upon the leaders of this business. And we got a couple awesome leaders here. So I'd like to have Chuck share a little bit more about, once again, what you're seeing in this business, and because he's helping a lot of people build this business. And same thing, I'd love to hear from Josh too. So Chuck, if you want to talk a little bit about that, and then we'll hold Josh, and then we'll go back to the last part here, which would be awesome.
Thanks. Great job, Greg. And I think if you go back to Aaron's comments, he made some great points in what he was teaching. But for me, I've always learned in this industry and basically in life, there's only two things I can control, and that's my attitude and my activity. And that's really it. So when I set my goals, it's really based around my attitude and my activity, not my results. I see too often in this industry and in LifeWave, people get discouraged so easily when they're not going as fast as they'd like to go. They look and they compare. That's the worst thing you can do. You may not have the experience. You may not have been through all the hardships and learning that I've been through or others have been through to have fast success. You might have to learn some things. So just set goals of activity. The main thing is the number of people you're going to talk to on a daily basis. Just set that goal. That is a goal that you can control. You can't control whether they get in or not, but you can sure control how many seeds you plant. And that's super important. Also, the activity you do today, typically you're going to see the harvest in 90 days. So if you're working real hard for a week or two and then you back off, you've just killed your momentum. You've got to stay consistent and persistent day after day, even if it's a short period of time every day. And not everybody wants to be free from the job. Some of you love your job, and that's fine. But for those of you who want to, be successful in this business, you have to decide what your goal is going to be for activity, and then do it consistently, regardless of the results, with a good attitude. And if you'll do that, I promise you, over time, you'll be put in front of the right person at the right time, and it will happen for you. I can't tell you how many days that is. That's one thing I can't tell you. But I can tell you for sure that if you don't quit, you will be successful with this opportunity. You have to learn the right things to say, which are easy. We got the scripts, but just like Aaron said, man, get on these calls and listen to the things that are said. He got some nuggets from Men of the other day. He applied them. That's what you do. So activity, attitude, and then another thing that's really important is use your upline. I say this all the time, and it goes in one ear and out the other. People don't take advantage of it. I'm again imploring you, go to Believe and use your upline. What I mean by that is use the three-way calls. That third-party validation is so powerful. You may think, well, I don't need it. I know what I'm talking about. Nobody said you need it for that reason. You need it because your prospect needs it. Your prospect needs to see that they too will have help. Subconsciously, that means so much to them. When they see, hey, they showed me some videos and they had somebody else answer some questions. My goodness, I can do this. And that'll help you be very, very successful. So get with a person that's helping you upline, is having success like you want to have, and let them know, I'm going to be using you for some three-way calls, some Zooms. And then I don't schedule those because I'm not going to sit around and wait for people to do those. You just do it. You're on the phone with somebody, you're talking to somebody person. You just say, hey, I'm going to introduce you to somebody. And bam, you call Josh or Greg or whoever. There's lots of good leaders on this team. Do it through it. Somebody's having success. Those are my key tips for tonight. The activity that you can control. And the most important thing is your attitude. And again, Aaron nailed it tonight. Get down on your knees, pray to God that he'll lead you to the right people, and he will. Back to you.
Awesome. So Josh, you've had some explosive things happen recently. So please share anything that you want to share with us. Because again, I know you made some commitments. And again, just the very basic things you said you're going to do, and then you started running with it. So would you be willing to share?
Yeah, sure. First thing I'm gonna share is Greg and I have been friends for a long time, really good friends for the past since April 1st. And I officially, as of 8:40 today, have defriended him because he has me speaking after Chuck. So so I don't appreciate that very much, but that's fine. So here's what I tell you. You know, you got a lot of you guys have heard my story on getting into this business, right? Not something that somebody wanted to. Has anybody ever heard that the people that make money fast and quickly in an organization like this are people that came from another company and brought their whole team with them? That's how you find explosive growth, right? I sell underwear for a living, right? That's what I do. I'm a district manager for Kohl's. I don't have a team of people that we brought in. This is grassroots. This is an awesome team that's on this call and beyond. So when Greg asked me, you know, when I first made a decision to do this, he said, you know, what is your goal on financial freedom from your job? And I didn't know. I said, well, you know, I've been with them for a long time. I make decent money. So I don't know. He goes, give me a date. Give me a time frame. I'm like 5 to 7 years. And I can tell you, I made the decision on July 1st last year to do this. 12 months later to the date, we are presidential directors making north of $10,000 a month with this. So this idea of leaving my company in 5 to 7 years, that number is shrinking very, very quickly. Right. So I will renegotiate that number here after I get approval from the lady. But anyway, so I'm not somebody who has experience in this industry, right? That took a team with me. I just listened to the team. I listened to the instructions and I did. I love the fact that Chuck and I are kind of talking about the same things. You know, this activity thing, you can't talk about that enough, right? Don't focus. What I would add to that, don't focus on the dollars. Focus just on the activity. If you completely get rid of the money side of it, you can have high goals on what you want to do, $1,000 a week, $1,000 a month, whatever it is. Don't focus on that at all, because when something falls through, you're going to get frustrated with it. Just focus on that activity. I was telling somebody earlier today, I have on my Google Calendar, everything in green is X39, right? So if I looked at the week before and after, and I'm like, okay, do I have enough stuff going on? Maybe it's just a call, maybe it's a Zoom, maybe it's I'm plugging into one of the This Is It things. So am I doing the activity? If the answer was yes, I knew that was plugging along. Then the money started to kick in about 3 months into that. And you know, Chuck and I were talking the other day. I'm telling you, if you plug in this thing for a year and you help your team, I couldn't stop this if I wanted to at this point, right? Which is kind of hilarious. The other thing I would tell you is when you share this with somebody, they're getting in for a reason, whether it's your passion or the technology is going to speak something to them or their family or a financial reason. There's a reason that they trusted you enough to get into this. I would really encourage you, don't plug in to somebody and then plug out and then go to the next one. It's not a cattle situation where you're just trying to get as many people in the business as you possibly can and move on. That doesn't do anything good for anybody. You know, think of at our house here, let's say I wanted to get a nice, a big, very high tech security system here. And so I bought the top of the line. The salesperson was convincing me of this. He comes over, installs all the different cameras, what I need for my phone, all the different touch pads, puts it all in there and then bounces, right? And I never see him again, right? I'm excited about it. I know what it's supposed to be doing, but I have no idea how to use this system, right? So that's kind of the same thing when we plug somebody up and then leave them. So I would encourage you, plug in with these people, show them the sites, answer the questions, put them back into the This Is It system as much as you possibly can. Everybody talked about house meetings. I love what Chuck said. If you're brand new or if you've been doing this for a year, schedule some house meetings. They are blowing up. They seen it last week. We seen one in Washington a week ago. You know, with 30 some people that showed up to that one. So it is incredible what you can do with one of those things. The This Is It team. You know, we talked about that a lot today. Obviously, we got our team. We got the This Is It team. It's all one team. You know, if you say, hey, I've seen this presentation, I don't need to watch it on Mondays, and I don't have anybody going to the meeting, or I don't have anybody here. Watch the meetings. I always do. I always have, because you pick up more and more and more things. The Saturday trainings are so important, but point everybody back to that thing. It is incredible. And also another thing on that, there's going to be times that you've talked to 4 or 5 people and you're kind of down and out because they're not doing anything with the business and you're feeling, is this really working? Watch one of these Zooms. It'll pop you right back up. It always has for me the whole time. Plug into the meetings. I talked about that. The last two things is, and I've mentioned this before, you've probably heard this before. Ignorance on fire is so much more powerful than knowledge on ice. So don't sit there and have to read and learn every single thing you possibly can to discuss things with people. They know that you're pumped up about a sticker. Here's what it's doing for me. Go to this website, get involved with me. Okay. Right. We're doing a Zoom tonight for a lady who's on here at 9:15 for a guy that wants to get involved that hasn't even got it yet, but he wants to bounce in because excitement, because of testimonies, knowing what it's doing. So use that ignorance on fire. And the last thing I would tell you that I've personally seen is, I such an amazing team on here. I mean, everybody on our team is just, I love them to death. But say yes. When they ask a question, say yes and then try to figure out the how. Right? Whether it's a Zoom, whether it's a house meeting, whether it's a three-way text, whatever it is, say yes and figure out the how. That's what I'd give you.
Absolutely fantastic. That is awesome. And I love this because, again, when Chuck was talking about that, I'm going to make sure I put Chuck in front of Josh every single time now. So since he defriended me. So I know, but attitude, activity, the only other thing that I heard before people talk about the AAA is accountability. Accountability is business is checking with the people. That was something that Aaron shared earlier. He said, get in touch with the upline, call them. They want to be used. And that's like us. I told Josh, use me and abuse me, and he did. So now I'm encouraging you to do the same for the other leaders too. So, but we're here to help out. And the biggest thing we want to do is let you know that we're here for you to win. And we're doing everything we can, even little incentive things and stuff like that. So I want to have Chuck kind of finish up here talking a little bit about the gold rush that's actually going on. So the Go for Gold. So if you want to talk a little bit about that, and then we'll wrap up the meeting with a prayer, that'd be awesome.
I'd love to. And Josh, I was going to text you this, but I'll just tell you, we'll get back at Greg. We'll let him follow Malcolm Alexander sometime. You talk about a trainer, man. That guy nails it. Yeah, this rush for gold. I really want everybody to take a minute. I know we've hit you a lot of information, but just take a minute and really listen for the next few minutes, because this can literally change your business big time. This next week, you got 1 week from today to basically finish up this gold rush contest. And so what I want to encourage you to do is contact every single person on your team and encourage them to go for this $500. The way Josh and Greg have set this up, they both put $500 of their own money, both of them individually, for their two separate teams. Well, Josh is part of Greg's, but it's Josh's team. One person's going to win $500 and Josh down. And then everybody outside of that in Greg's team is going for the other $500. And we've got leaders who've already stepped up and already got the lead. But the thing about this contest is it doesn't matter who wins first, because if you get two chances in this contest, you can win the $500. And so I want to encourage every single person to call the people on your team and encourage them to make that one contact, that one person on the fence. Just make this your week. While you're doing that, be promoting the Believe Conference, because you really never know who's on the fence and who might go if they just had somebody who encouraged them and said, hey, look, if you're worried about getting a ride from the airport to the hotel, I'll get you a ride. I'll help you. So this gold rush, you get 2 points for every new gold that you personally enroll. And you get 4 points for every new diamond that you personally enroll. So whether you're at the top of the leaderboard now or you're not even on the leaderboard now, you have a chance to win. But you have to get at least one gold signed up by Sunday night next week to have that shot. And so the contest goes to July 13th. That's the cutoff date. So if by July 13th you've got at least one gold, you're in the contest. Now, if you want to increase your chance of winning, you want to do what Terry did down in Arnold, Missouri. I don't know the exact number, Josh or Greg, so I don't want to exaggerate, but it's probably north of 10 new people she's put in her business in the first 2 weeks. And she's just tearing up. So if you want to increase your chance to winning, put a lot of people in. But I'm telling you, even if you just one person, get your name on the list. And here's the cool thing. You might win the $500, but what's even more important, you're blessing somebody with this phenomenal product. You're blessing them with an opportunity to build a business because they're coming at gold. They're at the level they need to be to max his comp plan out. And so just pray about who is out there that you could contact that would want to be a gold, and then go through the process, the script, get them to watch the videos at thisitinfo.com, then get them through a call with one of us, and we'll help you make the decision that's right for them. We're not going to push them into gold or diamond if that's not right for them. But if they're interested in building a business, then gold and diamond are the two options for them. Anything you guys want to add on the gold rush? Because I know this is really important. We got 1 week left, and I'll close in prayer. All
Josh,
right,
if
you
you
guys
can,
can see
this,
this.
this is Josh's list here. So Josh, if you, mine's not updated yet, so I've got a very partial list on there. But I think this is the leaderboard as of today, probably just before the meeting. So did you want to say anything about this, Josh?
Sure, yeah. So I've forced ranked this. Obviously, there's a lot of twos there, so you can see if you have a gold, you're on the list, and a diamond. And so, just congratulations, Dr. Rick Barton, 20 points there. Terry 14, Dr. Dennis Roden 6, Kristen Dory. Again, they just started 2 weeks ago. To Chuck's point, and 6 points on there. So anybody can win this. We are going to spin the dial live on next Sunday for both. So I'm pretty excited about how we're going to do that. So. Yeah, so go from there. But a lot of people are on the fence on here, so this is very cool, exciting.
That's awesome. Yeah. So the one thing we always want to do is want to pray for one another. That's one thing we do with our team. We pray before the meetings. We want to pray with you during this meeting because we do ask for God's favor to be upon you. Again, this week, ask the Lord to lead people to you. Just say, Lord, lead people to me where I can be a blessing to them through you, and be amazed at how things start happening. But if you want to finish this up, Chuck, with a prayer, that would be amazing. That's awesome. I appreciate your leadership today, both Josh and Chuck, and sharing. It was absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Love to. And we'll stick around a few minutes afterwards if you got some questions. I saw somebody asking about the home meeting. We'll stick around for a few minutes, but I do want to close this officially in prayer. Father God, we just pause and want to thank you. Thank you for all you've done. For those of us in the United States, we thank you for this country where we've got freedom still to worship you and to start a business and help other people. Lord, I thank you for our leadership, all the way to the top, the owners of the company. I pray for Steve and Gina Merritt. And obviously, we just thank you for Ken and Diana Burke, and then those leaders who are just actively leading us. Show Greg and Mena, Josh, so many great leaders. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But Lord, we want to also thank you for every single person that's a part of this team, and some who are very frustrated right now. They see others having success and they're comparing themselves. Lord, help them to realize that all they have to do is plug into you, do the activity, and they too can be successful. Don't get discouraged. Lord, I pray for people that are contemplating going to believe. I pray that you'll show them a way. When they make the decision to do it, I pray that you'll show them a way, provide them a way, help them come into some extra money, help them figure out something they can sell in their house that they're not using, haven't used in a long time. Sell that TV that's costing their brain power. Whatever they got to do, Lord. I know I'm kidding a little bit about that one, but just help them to see that this is real and they need to believe, and then help them to figure out a way to do it. Lord, I pray for peace and patience for those and just that are out there and they're struggling right now. Help them to realize their time is coming, their person is coming. They just have to be consistent and allow you to work through them. I pray all this in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen. Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah. So definitely we're here for any questions that you might have. Last time I cut it off early from the recording. I'm leaving the recording on because we had some great, comments and questions and things that came on here. So definitely, if you've got a question, we'd love to answer some questions you have. And so I know the one question that came up, I don't know if Chuck, you want to answer that because you've been doing quite a bit of home meetings. If you want to talk about that, it'd be great.
Home meetings are pretty basic. I would recommend schedule your home meeting around a Sunday night or Thursday night when Josh and Greg are doing presentations, and just plug them in live. I know Alan St. Cyr does that every Thursday night. He's over in Illinois, but he just plugs in and watches the Zoom that Josh and I do in St. Louis. You could do the one on Sunday night. You can also use a recording. If you go to visitteam.com and go to the downloads, you can download the presentation and just read it yourself. There's nothing more powerful than you being the one speaking about it. All you gotta do is read the slides. They will sell themselves. All the information is there that we read. So number one, invite 10 more times people than you think you want there. When I had my home meeting, I probably invited 40, 50 people and 3 showed up. So it's not so much important how many show up. It's just that you draw that line of sand and you literally, it's like put up your sign that you're in business. That's how we start this business, is a home meeting. So you can do it by you doing the presentation. If you're local to somebody, like if you're within 50 miles of Greg, I'd buy his dinner, have him come over and do your home meeting for you in person. There's nothing like in person that beats Zoom 100 to 1. It really does. And so you be there, you invite people to your home or your office, and then you can use a pre-recorded presentation. You can use a live presentation. You can do the presentation. The key thing is that they sense your belief and they hear some testimonies about the product. I don't recommend you do it over a meal or at a restaurant. I recommend you do it somewhere where it's quiet and you can control the environment. So any other pointers you guys have, but those are my tips for a home meeting.
Absolutely. Yeah. The only other thing I would add is that we've done a lot of obviously international Zoom meetings. One thing that we're implementing when we do a launch meeting for people, we got a bunch of them this week. We got 2 on Tuesday and a bunch of other days. We got different launch meetings, is that we always help them and kind of give them a script of what to say, how to say to invite people, but then tell them to make sure that anybody, because an in-person meeting is powerful, but a Zoom can be powerful too. But the challenge you have is people will have their camera off. Like even this meeting, a lot of people have their camera off. So I see iPhone 13 and I've got Bob Smith's name or whatever. Imagine people showing up at their house with a brown paper bag over their head and it says John Smith on it, or if it said iPhone 13 on it or whatever. I tell people make sure they understand it's gonna be interactive meeting. Even when they come to your home, let them know it's gonna be interactive meeting so that you want to take notes and answer questions, because that is very, very important. So when I see someone on the screen, I want to interact with them. But if I see all these, names on the screen, it's a lot harder to do that. So encourage people, if you are going to do a Zoom because they're out of the country or out of state, long distance away, to make sure they're all on camera, and the people that are inviting them, tell them, hey, this is going to be interactive meeting. So make sure you have your camera on, because we're going to be interacting, asking questions and things like that. So that's the tip on that side for not a house meeting, but a Zoom type meeting. That's one of the things we recommend. So hopefully I answered that question. There was another question that came.
One more thing before you go on, I thought of that. It was really important, is have order forms with you. If you're doing a home meeting in person, have the order forms with you. At the end of your meeting, expect people to order product, to try the product. And so literally pass out the order forms. And then if you're the only leader in the room, great. But if you got a couple other, like the last one we did for Terry, Aaron and I walked around, just answered questions for people, help them determine the pack that was best for them. And literally, like I said, we signed up 8 out of 9 people who were there. And the one, I'm pretty sure she's signed up still, but she just didn't at that meeting. So have the order forms ready. Expect them to get started. Help them get started at the perfect spot for them. So I think that would help too.
Yeah. And then on the Zoom, if you are going to be doing some of the Zoom, make sure that you follow up with that person, set up a time with them. Afterwards, if they want to stick on, you can pick up the phone. Do not rely on the person that you're basically is doing the meeting, or basically who's hosting the meeting, to actually follow up with everybody. You want to be a part of that and actually encourage them, help them, get them started. Hey, what's a good time? Do you have time right after the meeting? Do you have time? And so definitely do that. So the same way with that, just kind of making sure the follow up is a key. But yeah, definitely, like Chuck said, have order forms ready. And we don't say anything fancy. So once again, we have people that just come over and we got water and some coffee usually afterwards, or not even that, just people being there because they're there to hear presentations. It's not to feed everybody. It's not to do all the different kind of stuff. It is basically because you want something that's very duplicatable, very, very simple. If you have store-bought cookies or something, great, but that's about it. So someone asked, he said that last week. So Frank asked last week, he says, do existing silvers who upgraded gold count for, but it says sponsors. I don't know if you mean for the contest. There's no upgrades that count for the contest. It's only for people who sign up a gold or sign up a diamond. It's too hard to track the other ways. It's like a very, very difficult to do as far as for upgrading on that. But if you mean it a different way, I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you want to type in if there's anything different than that, I'm not sure what that is. And then Kristen said, okay, so they count for boots account, a tracker. Okay, there you go. So maybe that's what it was. So not for the Gold Rush contest, but for that. So yes, on the tracker, it actually has it for basically where you can get people as a silver, you basically get 1 point. If they upgraded gold, 2 points, diamond, 4 points. So again, you can really maximize points by actually upgrading people and helping people out with that. So hopefully that answers that question. Great question. Ricardo said, I think it was Heather said, where can I download the health tracker? I'll get that to you. You can definitely do it if you scan the information. The health tracker's on there, but there's a separate link for that. So again, this is a team.
We put it in there, Greg.
But is it for downloads or it's a tracker? Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, we both. We put the link for the downloads and
Awesome.
the tracker.
Good. Okay, great. Okay, great. So is there any other questions that anybody else has? Because we definitely want to answer the questions in regards to those. Yeah, because one thing we do want to do is make sure that you realize we're available. And I tell people that all the time. Somebody says, well, I don't want to bug you. I said, trust me, if you're bugging me, I won't answer the phone. If you text me, or, I'm not bugging you, but if you're reaching me at a time that I'm busy, I'm not gonna answer the phone or whatever, but I will get back to you. Josh does the same thing. Chuck said, all the leaders that are on here, we have a great team of leaders, all the people that are on here doing that. So get together with the people and ask them to help out any way they can. So I think that was it. Anything else?
I would just encourage people, if you're not a manager today, get with the one of us that are upline from you that's having some success and come up with your game plan to go manager. Because that's really the core of this business is you becoming a manager. Once you do that, then you just start helping other people do the same. You obviously want to keep enrolling people, but the core building block of this whole thing is becoming a manager. So if you're not a manager yet, you need to give someone a line and say, hey, look, I want to become a manager. Then we'll help you put a game plan together and make it happen. So that'd be my biggest tip walking away from here is if you're not a manager, you can become one within the next week or two. Just draw a line in the sand, have a home meeting, let's do it.
And Greg, let me throw one other thing here. I know we're kind of going a little bit long, but also because it took me a while to realize this, but from an upgrade standpoint, the people that you put in, they're one of the tricks here is if you have somebody that came in as silver, for example, and they're on 2-sleeve auto ship and they want to upgrade, they don't know about upgrading to gold, you can literally go into their go in the system, instead of spending $200 on auto ship when it comes up here next week, move your auto ship out 30 days, and then buy and then upgrade to gold, which is, by the way, $200. So realistically, upgrading to gold costs you $0 extra, right? So so encourage people to do that, and that really helps them get to a part where they can they can maximize the compensation plan in gold. So just look for different things like that to help your team, because they don't know. We don't know what we don't know. So I'd encourage you as you bring people in, look through that to help them through that process too. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks everybody for a great call tonight.
Absolutely.
I'd like to add one little thing, if you don't mind.
Sure.
March 12th, when Chuck was talking about the meeting that he put together, the home meeting, Jessica and I, of course, always support him, but we were there, and then Joe Finn showed up, and Joe Finn and myself and Jessica, we are directors. So plug into those people that are willing, that respect your time, and they'll go to your meetings. Plug into those people. I've got Janet and Janine here on the call. Terry was on the call earlier. My mom was on the call earlier. Those people are plugging in. So those people that are willing to respect your time, respect their time as well, and help those people. Plug into those people and help their people plug in.
I 100% agree. Absolutely. Yeah. And like I said, with the meetings, we've had a lot of meetings that people come out of that very excited. They want to do meeting for those people, who want to do meeting for those people, who do meeting for those people. And it's amazing what happens. So very exciting. And so again, lead people, show them a way, and basically help them to go that way. So otherwise, it's awesome. So I appreciate everybody here. We're here this week. We're here to help everybody we can. Again, if you know anybody in St. Augustine, if you know everybody in Orlando, get them to those meetings.
Excuse me, guys.
In Orlando. Yes, sir.
I have a question. With the patch scenario, I was on a call once before where you said you could put it in your pocket and different things like that. Now, say if I put it in my pocket, do I have to take the little plastic piece off first, or can I just put it in my pocket like it is?
Yeah, so from my understanding, that's a great question. And Lily can put it that way it is. The patches are meant to basically last about 12 to 14 hours, as far as what David Schmidt said. He said they basically kind of become activated, and basically after a while, they're only good because they are temporary. Same thing with the same with the stickiness. I've had people say, well, I'm gonna take the sticker off and I'm gonna put it back on the next day. They'll only last for so long. Same thing, you put the same patch in your pocket over and over and over. After a while, it's not meant for that. It's a temporary patch. But yes, that's a great question.
Well, actually, there's like a little film on the patch. I was just wondering if I could take that off.
No, that's just for the stickiness as far as for that. So again, it's
Right.
because you think about the front of the patch, if it has basically, even if it was the first one, that's why I tell people, do not put a sleeve in your pocket. Why would you want to not put, because you got 30 patches being activated. So again, you got it this way, you still have it basically on this side, it's the same exact thing. So it's not like the nano crystals are facing one specific way. There's basically formulated to use basically either way. So, but I do tell
Okay.
that, if you take a sleeve and stick it in your pocket because you're going to a networking event, make sure that you understand you're activating all those patches. That was one of the tips that someone told me a while ago, and I go, oh, that's kind of smart, but great question though. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Any other questions? I think that's it. So otherwise, God bless you guys. Thank you everyone for, again, we want a lot of other people participating. As you can see, things are happening. Like I said, get together with us. Don't be afraid to ask out. Don't say, "What? This is my goal. This is what I want to do." We want to know your goal because we know what it is. We're going to help you get it. I'm being serious. And like I said, if you don't hit it exactly what it is, we're going to reset it and hit it eventually. So, but otherwise, God bless you guys. Congratulations to all the new managers, new directors. Again, things are happening. You're going to see some massive explosions over the next 30, 60, 90 days. It's pretty amazing what's going on. It's like I said, especially coming out of Believe. The Believe convention is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So otherwise, God bless you guys. I'll have these up and loaded, probably not tonight, but probably tomorrow for recording so you can send to people. But again, it's going to be up on my YouTube channel. I'll send out to leaders so they can send it to everybody else. But get people in the meetings tomorrow. Get people in the Monday meetings, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and do a lot of one-to-ones. And we're going to help as many people as we can. Share, share, share. Let people know what's going on. So God bless you. Have an amazing night, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bless you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good
Bye-bye.
night. Blessings.